They saw all that, so you can just start going and just to kick them out.
I kind of need.
No, but they're gonna block. They block it if you have copyright stuff. They block it. So start it over.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be
So
better.
people can't see.
Believe me,
they can't
I
even
know.
view the beginning. Yeah.
Right. It's much better to just do it over because
That's right.
that you can't send it to certain places once you're blocked.
Right.
So you're gonna curtail your views.
That's
Gotcha.
right.
We live.
All right, we back live. We back live, and we're talking about the interview with Chris Paul. Oh yeah, I hit the wrong button. All right, cool. We're talking about the interview with Chris Paul, and is he? I wanted to know, was he cursed? I called him now CP31. Is he cursed? Ryan
What
Thomas.
does that mean?
Yeah.
3-1. He's not good with 3-1 leads.
CP31. Okay, gotcha, player.
Yes, he is cursed. Over the playoffs in his career, he lost. The Clippers, the Rockets, he never came out of the West. So yes, he is cursed.
Okay, what you think about Azar?
I mean, I don't know about this curse thing. That's kind of I do believe somewhat in it with franchises. Usually when it comes to franchises, I don't think I've ever thought a player was cursed. Like I think the Cleveland Browns have been cursed. Another team or two, I just have to think about the different sports where they just don't matter what they do. They just, it doesn't work out. But no, I just think he's a great point guard and a star. He's not necessarily a Batman per se, but he's not like a LeBron or a Jordan or even a Kobe or a Magic where he's the head set front leader of the team. He will not win a championship like that. So this is probably the best team he's been on where he has a superstar and a great big man at the same time. Even on the Clippers, he had Blake Griffin, but it's kind of like Blake Griffin is Ayton, but then they got Booker. The Clippers didn't have the Booker, like the third player. So that's why they got as far as he's gotten. But in the same with the Rockets, I just think it's just one of those where he just falls short. Some players don't do what he does. He's gotten as far as he's gotten. He's gotten the 2 Western Conference Finals. So, no, I wouldn't say he's cursed. It's just Barkley don't have a ring. Malone don't have a ring. I mean, there's a lot of players that don't. Reggie Miller. I wouldn't say they were cursed. It happens.
All right, Double A.
Oh man, for me personally, I don't believe Chris Paul is cursed. I just think that kind of like to piggyback a little bit off of what Czar said is that he falls short. Being that he played in the West majority of his career, it's been a battle for him. And Czar pointed out that a lot of guys don't even get as far as what he does. But I also kind of would say, in a sense too, that kind of falls under being a victim of circumstance because of the fact that he plays in the West and had to deal with Steph and X, Y, and Z going through the West. So I just believe that, like Phoenix is the best scenario for him. And I believe that, him and Devin Booker and the rest of the Suns are going to make it past the Clippers. And yeah.
Okay, Sharon, how do you feel? This is your boyfriend. I meant to put that out there. This is.
I'm never in an abundance of compliments for Chris Paul. Never. But I don't believe that he's cursed. I just believe that the situations that he's been in and the teams he's played with has resulted in not going too far and never being in the finals. I just believe that. It's not that I believe that he's a bad player. He's a great player. And sometimes the fault has not lied with him why they didn't make it. Sometimes it was his fault, sometimes it was not. But I cannot say it was always his fault, which is why I don't believe that it's a curse or like it's a curse around him or anything like that. I just believe it's just some bad luck and some teammates that happen to let him down in some situations. But I can understand why he wouldn't even want to talk about that 3-1 because when the Clippers in 2015 blew that 3-1 lead in the semifinals, it was ugly because they were dominant and they should have gone all the way, but they didn't. So I can understand why he's a little gun shy, but I wouldn't go so far as to say he's cursed. I have to agree with what everybody else says, except Ron. Sorry, Ron.
Guru, talk to me.
All right, baby. Well, he's got a little bit of a conundrum. I think they pronunciate that word if my diction is
Got it.
proper.
got
Well, the problem he has is that number one, a lot of people have viewed him as this great player. They have put him up there with the, you know, not so much, I guess, point guards, the great point guards. Obviously, you got to start with Magic, number one. Then to me, you got to go to obviously Isaiah. Then you got to go to guys like, you know, Steph, and then, you know, lesser guys that never won championships like him, and that would be Stockton. So the problem he has, and my man Double A had mentioned quite a few players that, you know, led him to believe that, hey, you know, a lot of great players haven't, you know, gotten a championship. But all those players you named, Double A, all of them have gotten to the championship. So that kind of separates people getting to the finals. That there's a difference. And when you have this reputation, this bigger than life reputation that he has, and as you know, the great Sharon Mullen mentioned, his problem has really been injuries. He's gotten to that point of no return, and then had somewhat what happened to him in the Lakers series, which he was able to overcome. You know, that shoulder injury, you know, stinger, whatever you want to call it, and then obviously he wanted to blame, you know, what was his Matthews for that, you know, foul, which wasn't much of a foul, and I thought it was a big overreaction and something that Chris Paul has kind of experienced a lot throughout his career, whether it was at, I believe, Wake Forest. You know, I believe he hit a guy, you know, where you're not supposed to hit guys at, and you know, some people think he's somewhat of a, even though he's short, a little bit of a bully, you know, because he's got that that alpha male type mentality, even though he is shorter than a lot of his adversaries. But the bottom line is, I will say this: if he loses this one, 3-1 to, you know, Pandemic P of all people, with no Kawhi, okay, and I don't care what anybody says. Y'all know you're gonna bring up Pandemic P and his whatever how many points he had last night, and Czar doing a little monkey dance last night, and all that stuff on his, you know, debut show, you know, for the great Andre Robinson of all
he
people.
also had COVID in the beginning of the series. Don't forget that. So I mean,
that's true, but that's why his shooting percentage is, I believe, like 25%, which is putrid. I mean, but that's interesting because his shooting percentage is so horrible, but yet he's had an impact nevertheless. So that goes to his greatness. Now, I'm like Sharon. I've never been a big believer in him, but a lot of that is more personality. I'm the type of guy that if I don't believe in you as a person, I'm going to find every reason under the sun not to believe in you as a player. Now, I am guilty of that, but I also can acknowledge when someone is great. And although I don't put him on that number one tier, he's on that second tier. And like I said, whether you're talking about Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Malone and Stockton, these are all great players, you know, in our lifetime who have not achieved the championship or won the championship for whatever reason. You can make excuses for everybody. I made excuses for Ewing all those years because that was my guy, you know, but the fact of the matter is they never won. So, you know, he's got a perfect opportunity this year in light of, you know, the Lakers being injured and obviously Clay, you know, Clay and Steph and all the other numerous injuries. This is a layup, man. And if you miss a layup, man, it's on you. So that's all I got to say about whether or not he's cursed or not. You know, Dolan is cursed. The Knicks are cursed. He will be cursed if he don't get out of this damn, you know, against Pandemic P.
Yeah. So I believe the same thing. You know, it was a great performance last night from Pandemic P. And to my next question is, does playoff Pandemic P performances make Kawhi expendable? Do the Lakers no longer need Kawhi? Because I mean, I remember I came on your.
You
Big
said Lakers.
My fault.
Let's get that name right.
Do the Clippers no longer? I
Man.
seen the Lakers stuff in the background. It threw me
The
off.
Lakers
Don't,
actually,
don't
the
be calling
Lakers,
them the Lakers.
the
It threw me
Lakers
off.
actually, the Lakers actually need him.
But I came on your show, Guru, and I asked you. I said, why is it that Kawhi is not sitting on the bench with the players? Why is he always in the stands? You know.
Well, I told you why I thought, because if you have a severe injury, you're not supposed to be on the bench, regardless of what the optics is the word a lot of people like to use. If you got a torn ACL or MCL, you cannot really in any good conscience be on the bench and risk further injury by being on the bench. So you have to protect yourself. And also combined with the COVID situation and not being able to know that he has passed all of the COVID protocol since he knows he's not playing, that's another issue. So those are I know you were a little upset and you know, being a Philly guy as you are, you know, you was ready to come down on with all of, you know, the Liberty Bell and everything else you got, you know, in your repertoire. I told you to slow your roll, big fella.
You did.
Slow your roll.
You did.
All right now.
You did tell me to slow my roll. But I mean, since we're on it, Ron, does playoff P or PG 13, does he make Kawhi Leonard expendable? Shout out to Juke Ellington for saying that he's no longer Pandemic P.
No.
He doesn't?
No.
Okay.
And this why. Because playoff P don't play like this all the time.
Mm.
He don't. He play when he wants to play. Shout out to Randy Moss.
2 shots and 1 count.
Straight cash, homie.
So,
No, you didn't. No, you didn't do that.
If I cannot depend on you, I'm gonna keep this man on the team. Once again, everybody, playoff P don't play like this all the damn time.
Thanks.
All right. How do you feel, Double A?
To be honest with you, man, I agree with Ron 100%. But to kind of add a cherry on top, I just feel like him and Kawhi right now, they feed off of each other, and more so, I would say PG feeds off Kawhi a lot more than Kawhi feeds off PG. That's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody would agree with me. I just feel like PG takes more from Kawhi than Kawhi takes from PG. But at the same time, I understand that, you know, these guys are getting used to each other. They've only been together only a hot second still, and not to mention the fact that Kawhi has been injured most of the time, so they're still getting everything situated. But I just feel that, you know, PG's play right now has been great. I mean, obviously, if we're talking recently, but like Ron's point overall, he doesn't do this consistently. I'd say ever since he broke his leg, his play has been inconsistent. We see flashes of the Indiana Pacers PG, but it's not as consistent as it should be. But yeah, that's just my take.
Okay. Sorry, what you got?
Well, like we discussed last night, you know, even though Guru wanted to throw it out the window, yet he continues to bring up stats and lists. This playoff P has performed the entire playoffs this year, as he again was one of 5 players in the last 20 years to score over 20 points in the first 16 playoff games. And then he had that dud in the 17th game, which was game 4. That was the worst game he had of the playoffs up to that point. But then he follows it up with a monumental game in game 5 and put that team on his back in Phoenix on an elimination game in a hostile environment. Kawhi Leonard, He's already causing problems like he did in San Antonio, talking about the same shit he said over there about the medical staff. And, he's sitting in the rafters. He's not even with the team. We don't even know what's wrong with his knee. Now my thing is this, if they lose this next game, I mean, I don't know. But if they win the championship, hell yeah, he's expendable. I would actually get rid of Kawhi. He would be gone if they win the championship. So the question is really hard to answer now because, there's still work to be done. However, we've seen what they can do as a team and as a unit without the distractions and a more fluent offense, and let playoff P get back to Indiana playoff P as the man, and they can beat some teams. They've already beat the number 1 seed, and now they could beat the number 2 seed. And if that's the case, absolutely. Send Kawhi straight over to Chicago. It's going down.
Can I ask Czar a question really quick? Czar, do you really truly believe that PG can lead the Clippers to a championship right now?
Do I believe he can? Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially what's left. Brooklyn, the only team that scared me is there was only one scary team, and unfortunately they got hurt. That was the Brooklyn Nets. Out of that, to me, it was open.
Okay.
For me.
Okay. Fair enough. I just wanted to just know if you were really serious.
Now, I got a question for you, Czar.
Mm.
How many times before the playoffs started he put this kind of numbers?
Mm.
You mean in the regular season?
Yes.
Mm.
I mean, he was third All NBA. He had a great season.
No. I don't want to hear no stats.
What are you asking me?
I asked him because he don't play like this.
He had a great season. He does play like this.
Not during the regular season.
He doesn't do it
third
consistent
team
enough.
All NBA, which means he's a top 15 NBA player this season.
Okay.
You don't want stats, so I'm not going to give you no numbers, but he had a great season. You don't make an All NBA team.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler didn't make the All NBA team.
Yes, he did.
Did he make the third team too? Or maybe I got to pull it up. Did he make it?
Jimmy Butler's on one of those teams because Trae Young is not, and neither is Booker.
Okay. Well, basically what I was trying to get at, there's a lot of great players that played great this year that didn't even make the All NBA team. Playoff P made that team. Yes, he had a great season.
I like he doesn't play like this consistently as an MVP caliber player. Is I think the point that's being mentioned here.
Thank you.
No, right. No, I'm not going there. I'm not saying that he has excellent games every single game that he plays. There's not many players that do have excellent games every game he plays, and especially he has been the second fiddle on that team as Kawhi Leonard is the leader. So he's not necessarily in the position to put up 30, 40 to carry a team with Kawhi Leonard. But we see what the man can do when he's expected and put in a tough situation down against Utah. They lose their best player and they still come back and win. And then what he's doing now. And if they pull off this to be continued, I mean, those questions don't really mean anything.
Okay. Sharon, how you feel, Sharon?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to call him any of those P's. I'm just going to call him PG-13 because that's what I've always called him. And I like Paul George. I'm a fan. So let me get that out of the way. But I do have some interesting stats for you. I told you, Mr. Guru, Mr. Hargrove, I did do my homework a little bit. I have to disagree with you a little bit, Czar, because he does not consistently perform this way in a regular season. In his regular season, this season, he was 23-7-5. It was not his best season. I mean, he's had a few others that were a little better. It was probably his third or fourth best season ever in his career. I wouldn't call that great. He might have made the third All NBA team, but if you look at the pool of players that he had to go up against this season that weren't injured, that's not saying much. That's all I'm going to say about that. Secondly, I took a look at the last 5 games that he's played in these playoffs. And what glared at me was his plus minus over the last 5 games. Without Kawhi, game 1, his plus minus was 1. Game 2, he was dead even at 0. Game 3, he was plus 23. Game 4, he was minus 5. And then game 5, he was plus 14. So he's like this. It's inconsistent. It's not consistent. And that's what everybody was talking about. Other people here were talking about him not playing that way consistently. And that is a concern. You have to be somewhat of a consistent player if you're going to lead a team to a championship. And that is part of the reason why, not the only reason why people feel uneasy about PG-13 being able to do that. And I have to agree. I have to mainly agree with that. I mean, can he do it? Yeah, he might, because of what's left. You're right, Czar. Because it's not like we have any dominant teams left. It could go either way. It's really a crapshoot. But the question that was asked is Kawhi expendable? If they want to win a championship, I wouldn't say that he's expendable. I do agree that they don't need the distractions. I do not agree that when you're injured, you're not able to sit on the bench. I think they sit behind the bench, like the second row. Yeah, I see injured players in street clothes all the time, and they sit with the team. I don't understand what Kawhi is doing and why he has to be up in the skybox with the family instead of with his team. That is a problem, because this is not the first time he has exhibited this behavior, as Zara mentioned. That's an issue. You don't need that type of behavior in your team if you want to be, have good chemistry amongst your players. So that is a concern. But as far as winning the chip this season, I don't know if is Kawhi ever going to come back. We don't know. Is he out for the rest of the season? Do we even know? And that's the thing. We don't really know. So if we don't know what his injury really is, and they're winning, do we not say that he's expendable? Can we not?
Guru, what you got, Guru?
Well, let me say, bravo,
Any questions for me?
bravo,
No.
bravo, Sharon. When you're not
Thank you, Mr. Hardgrove.
when you're not hanging around with people like Czar and a few of these LeBron haters, you do some excellent work. So bravo, Sharon.
Okay, thank you, Damon. Thank you, Damon.
So that being said,
Y'all made me think that nobody was listening to me. Nobody had any questions. Everybody's face just blank.
bravo. But
Thank
anyway,
you, Damon.
like I said,
Thank
job
you,
well
Damon.
done. And you brought out some interesting points with that plus minus, which is a pretty interesting stat. It doesn't always reflect what people think it reflects, but when you're the key person, because
that's true.
I think that's the most important part about the plus minus. When you're a bid player, you could be on the court with this guy or with this person or that person, and it can it can change the meaning of that stat a little bit. It can skew it, I believe is the word that I was searching for a little bit. But he has been up and down. Shit, he missed 2 crucial free throws. I could have hit them. Dennis could have hit them. I mean,
right.
only person that couldn't hit them is the poor guy in Philadelphia. And that's about the only person that could have hit them. And I like the young man, but he's about the only person who would have went up there and bricked 2 damn free throws in the most important part of the goddamn game. When it's I always hear, and I hear these former players say, well, that's the LeBron James's weakness. Well, shit, I ain't never seen LeBron go to the free throw in no big playoff game and miss. Now his percentage has been bad. And no, he hasn't. Give me the point.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, give me the point. Give me the game. Give me
I
the.
can't give it to you right now, but I will. I've watched him. I've watched him miss free throws late in his career.
You would have it written down.
Cool.
Okay. As a LeBron.
Hey, hold on. Let me be clear. So you're saying LeBron James has never missed clutch late free throws in his career?
Not to the point where it cost the game. No, never. I never
Okay.
seen him do it, and it cost him the game. In
fact,
go
ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
A guy like Shaq, who is a way worse free throw shooter, I never saw him miss them and cost them the game. That cost them the game. Plain and simple. He missed 2. They would have been up 3. They got the so they were up 1. They got a layup on a ridiculous play out of bounds that never should have happened. True, but it happened. That cost them the game. Cause and result. You know, that's bottom line. You want to debate that? You go right ahead. Then he missed in the other game where Sharon had the plus minus, where he was like +1 or whatever hell he was. He missed a key free throw that cost them the game. So you can't on one instance say nobody's as good as Jordan because he's 6-0 in the finals and he never had a blemish on his career. But yet, when other people miss free throws or don't take the big shot, so on and so forth. I saw Devin Booker in that same game pass up the big shot in the corner. Okay, so don't have these standards or these lofty standards for certain players who you don't like, and then other players you give them a pass. I'm not giving Paul George a pass. He's still pandemic B to me. Okay, and he's gonna be pandemic B until he gets out of this playoff series. Okay, now if he does that, he's shown me something, because I believe if Kawhi was there, they probably would be in the lead of this series. Now, to answer that question, the great question that our leader had, like Sharon said, do you want to win a championship or you just want to get to a certain point? Because what's his name? Fat Boy Steve Ballmer, I know he, got his money and he's on the bench clapping and looking like a fat slob and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is he's supposed to want to win. Just like Stevie Cohen of the Mets. Okay, they're supposed to want to win championship. That's what the Buss family did. That's what Jerry Buss was about, winning championships. That's what the Celtics about, winning championship. So if the Clippers want to be a real team, then win a championship. So, this stuff about now there is the devil's advocate who can say Kawhi, he's a strange dude, man. Him and Uncle Dennis, man, they two strange dudes. I don't know who's stranger, him or Uncle Dennis, okay? But the bottom line is, Sharon was right. Like, people do go behind the bench and get away from the crowd a little bit if you have an injury. But I don't know if a person who has a torn ACL, which they're not telling us, or a torn MCL, I don't know that Clay did that 2 days after or 3 days after he had that injury. That's what I don't know. That's the unknown that we don't know. But that's part of Kawhi, the secretness. The only time he ever said something when he said he was going to steal the town in LA. And that didn't happen, because we know what happened, when they lost to Denver last year. They embarrassed themselves, and he embarrassed himself, and Paul George embarrassed himself, okay? So, like I said, if they want to win a championship, at this point, I'll give that supporting cast a lot of credit. They have played good, and I'll give Tyrone Lue a lot of credit, but it's about winning chips. It's not about eating chips, it's winning chips. And so if that's what you want to do, then right now you need Kawhi. Unless, but remember, he's a free agent. He can do what he wants to do. They don't control him. He controls the narrative. He can go to LA. Quite frankly, I'd love it if he did, because he could play behind LeBron and Anthony Davis. And if LeBron can get that 5th title, amen. And if he get that 6th title, amen to that too. And when he get that 7th, man, I don't want the Jordan people to say SHIT to me.
Guru, you just spitting gibberish. You just spitting gibberish right now. First of all, while you've been talking this whole time, I've been watching video after video of LeBron James missing free throws. If Dennis wants me to share the Zoom, I can show you him.
Did they lose the game?
Yes.
I didn't say he never.
Yes.
Which one?
This particular one is the Lakers against the Wizards. tie game. He missed
The
a free
Wizards,
throw.
are in a different conference.
You talking
What
about
are
in the
talking
playoffs?
You said LeBron has never missed touch free throws in a game.
No,
In
I didn't say that.
playoffs.
In the playoffs, man.
Okay,
Come
all right.
on, man. Come on, Czar. Wake up, man. Come on.
No,
man.
you did not say in the
gotta
playoffs
represent-
originally.
you
But
gotta
I
represent
find
the
that
ball
too.
heads
Why?
better than that. Who cares if he lost a game in regular season?
Okay,
Come on.
okay, all right. Fair enough.
Sharon, I'm sorry, Sharon. Do you have the comment, Sharon?
I have the comments, sir.
All right.
The comments, wait, man, Czar and Mr. Hargrove got the comments on fire.
For comments
Not
on fire.
Not fire. Fire.
Fire. They skipped the R in that joint. Fire. They skipped the R in that joint.
So Juke Ellington said, we care about the regular season now. LeBron don't have spectacular games every game, and y'all call him the GOAT. That's what Juke Ellington said. Here we go. LOL. And then he said, what matters more, the regular season or what you do in the playoffs? Des Cartier said, hasn't PG played the most minutes this playoff? Juke Ellington also said, how much has PG been playing these playoffs? Minute-wise. I don't know why that's even an issue. But anyway, Ian Rochelle said, it gets harder to be consistent. Then you get to the conference final and definitely the NBA finals. Bucks versus Suns in the finals, book it. That's what Ian Rochelle said. Juke Ellington said, don't matter what teams is left, those dominant teams got beat for a reason. Okay. Ron Thomas said, if you call yourself a superstar, you need to show up all the time, just not sometimes. That's right, Ron. Tell him. Tell him. Say that, Ron.
Man, it's sad.
Juke Ellington said, LeBron don't show up all the time. When he fails, we blame everyone but him. Des Cartier said, does Kawhi even come back to the Clippers next season? Juke said, what player calls themselves a superstar? The media and fans do. What's his name? Jermaine Williams said, yo. Ron said, how many rings do LeBron James have? Please, no, y'all. Let's not talk about that. And Juke said, how many big players assisted him in those championship runs? And then I replied to Juke Ellington, because he said we care about the regular season now. I said, I don't think that's what he was trying to say. And then Ian said, hey, Guru, you were saying. Juke said, LeBron missed multiple shots in that Dallas series. Ian Rochelle said, Guru making weak arguments. Does he know basketball?
Oh,
and then Sharon, then LeBron, Juke said LeBron missed multiple shots in that Dallas series. And I said free throws that cost them the game, because that is what Mr. Hargrove said. He said he didn't miss free throws that cost him the game. So I just asked that question. And then Juke said, so why bring up the regular season? Got nothing to do with the playoffs. And I said back to him, he was making a point that PG-13 is an inconsistent player. And he mentioned the regular season and the playoffs to illustrate that. That's all. He isn't saying the regular season counts more. He never said that, y'all. So y'all need to just relax. And then Jermaine Williams said Paul is doing his thing. Oh, he don't like the Clippers. And then he said, Sports Guru, what's your NBA playoff stats? You taking Paul George? And then
taking him where?
Take him as Ron
court, I guess.
Take him as Ron would say, take him on a long walk out to the park after dark. That's what you're gonna do.
In reply to Ian Rochelle saying Guru making weak arguments, does he know basketball? I said, don't do that. That's what I said.
Ian. I think you must have forgot that this show is built for the fans, by the fans. Don't be scared to put them digits in and come on in here, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't be scared because the Guru might chew your ass out.
Twice.
And if you go to his Saturday show, he ain't gonna be as PG as he is today. I'm just letting you know, all right?
Nope.
He ain't gonna be as PG as he is today.
PG, playoff George? I got you.
No. Playoff Guru. That's the PG he is. Playoff Guru.
So Juke said ain't none of us played in the league, so to call people scrubs or trash, we need to chill on that.
Oh,
Juke
well,
said
let me
that.
respond.
Juke's
Let me respond. Hold
Juke's
on.
a Paul George fan. Go ahead, Juke.
Oh, let me finish the comments, y'all. Juke said Guru delusional. Buck Flair said Guru 7 chips. LOL. And then Buck Flair said LeBron swept by Spurs 4-0 in the finals. LeBron swept by Warriors 4-0 in the finals. No GOAT status. And Juke Ellington said, did LeBron go 0 for how many in the fourth quarter of the
Speaking of the
finals?
sports angle,
My thing is, why we bringing up all this LeBron in the comments? We ain't talking about him. We talking about Kawhi.
because Guru mentioned LeBron
Guru
gonna get
always
7,
gets
8 chips.
Yeah, I know that's why. I do know that's why. But let's bring it back to the subject at hand. You know how.
Well, since we talk about the
back to
subject,
the matter at hand.
hold on. Since we talk about the subject, the sports angle does not think that the Guru knows basketball. Speak on it, sports angle.
He was making very weak arguments. Like I
Hold
was
up,
just
Sports
calling him out.
Angle.
He was making a very weak argument.
What was the weak argument?
First of
Call
all-
it out.
Like he's sitting there talking about LeBron, and it's just like, all right, I get it. You put him on a pedestal. You like him. You love him.
You want to
I
crown
get
him?
it.
Then crown him.
Right, exactly. He was like, hey, 5, 6, 7. At one point, I was assuming he was going to say 14 rings. He's just going to win the next 8. That's what I was assuming. When it comes to sports guru, I understand that there's a bias there. I get it. But with your argument with Paul George, what you were saying pretty much is like, oh, he's going to be pandemic P. He's always going to be pandemic P. But what if he isn't? What if he balls out, goes to the NBA Finals, and wins a championship for the Clippers?
Then
Let's
I
say
gotta
he-
eat crow. And I'll be here next week. So you be here when he don't do it. Okay? When you come on my show and you told me I don't know basketball when I coached 1,000 basketball games, when my daughter got a scholarship to play basketball, when I have done numerous things with kids who have played under me, who have gotten to college and got free education. What the fuck have you done? Excuse
Hey,
me.
Guru,
Hey, I'm
Guru.
happy to come on your show
Hold
anytime.
on, Guru.
Anytime, no problem.
Guru.
No.
Guru.
You want to say that somebody doesn't know basketball? You're gonna own that, young man. You're gonna own that because I have
Guru.
forgotten more about basketball than you have ever known. You can be a
Guru.
Clipper. You can know. Stop. Pipe down.
Hold
You
on.
can be
Let me say this real
you
quick.
can
I
be
got
a
your back.
Clipper. You can be a Clipper apologist all you want. They have never won diddly squat. Okay? So
No,
let
they've
them get
never
out of
won.
the
That's a
West.
fact.
Let
They've
them
never
get
won.
out of the West.
That's a fact.
And let's see them get out of the series and then come talk to me on this show or any other show. And I'll be there ready to debate you like a man. So don't tell me about I don't know basketball when I do know basketball.
Guru.
You know nothing about basketball. You're a Clipper.
Guru.
You have no
Let him finish.
credentials. You have no credentials.
Be all day.
Czar, be
No, we
quiet.
ain't. We
I'm
ain't
talking to him. Okay? He called me out. I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna tell him what I feel if he calls me out. Okay? So this ain't your show. Let me say what I gotta say. Thank you. Okay? So, like I said, if you want to come and you want to debate me on basketball, on the merits of basketball, you debate me. All my arguments were sound. All my arguments sound. He's done nothing. Because, like I said, when it comes to LeBron James or any of these great superstars, even what about KD? He had 49 points and played almost every minute, but he missed the last shot, so everybody came down on him. Okay, he didn't get it done like Michael. He wasn't like Mike. Okay, bottom line, he didn't get it done. Doesn't matter that Kyrie wasn't there. Nobody cares that Harden was 70%. The bottom line is he didn't get it done. Kawhi is not there. It's up to Pandemic P to get it done. Let's see him do it.
Of course.
Let's see him
Paul
do
George
it.
got to do what he's got to do.
Well, that's right. And like I said, he directly cost them 2 games. So let's give him, he's 2-2 now. So let's see what happens in game 6. And then let's see. I'll bet any amount of money. Okay? Any amount of money. Come game 7, he will choke like a damn snake. Okay? He will choke like a snake. He'll be bricking shots like he bricked against Denver when they were up 3-1. That's what he'll be doing.
I'll bet you a good amount of money.
That's what my
Don't even make
basketball
game 7.
expertise tells you. That's what my basketball expertise tells you. Okay? So
Hey,
now
I'm
you
gonna
can
say
talk.
this to you. I'll bet some money right now. They don't even make it to game 7.
Well,
I mean, I said on my show, Suns are gonna win it out in 6. I said
So
on my show.
what the hell are you
multiple times.
talking about then?
Yeah, that was real
What you
contradiction.
talking
right
about?
there.
That don't
I
make
don't know.
sense. You're this Clipper guy. You're getting on my case because I'm telling you they ain't shit. but you ain't even willing to bet no money on your team.
Woo.
Hey, I like the team, but I'm a realist. I mean, I'm here in Las Vegas, the sportsbook capital of the world. I know what's going on.
Okay,
Money?
well,
No
you
doubt.
you need to put some money down on it. That's all I can tell you. Put some money. You can go right to the casino. You can lay your bet. Nobody can tell you. It's legal. It's all good. Hey, in Vegas, whatever that saying is, stays in Vegas, blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is, but like I said, I'll put some money that he'll lose too. And I'm rooting against him. I think he's a joke. I think he's a choker, and I don't like his style. And that's it. Period.
Hey, Guru, Guru, hold on. No, Guru, all I was going to say when I was trying to interrupt you, I'm looking out for you. I was just going to say, do this here and woosah. Woosah. That was it. That's all I was saying.
There's no FC violation on social media. I ain't
on a
worried about that
podcast
player.
that doesn't apply. Yeah.
Okay, so we can let it hang loose, brother. And I ain't trying.
Right, this isn't the radio.
I'm good.
It's all good.
I'm real good. So I'm ready to go, man. That's why I love this show. That's why Dennis brought me on.
I was looking.
Hey, you know what, Dennis? I will give him credit. Hey, Guru, I'll give you one thing. You're energetic. I like that. You're energetic.
Look, I like I said, I'm one of the first people that started this. Okay, so you put some respect on my name, player. You put some respect on my name.
Tell him you was one of the first.
I'm gonna start calling him Birdman. Birdman, you heard Birdman?
You check it out. You go in the archives and you see who was first doing this late night every Saturday night. Getting 5,000 views. Okay, that's right.
Tell him you was lead singer for the Stylistics. Tell him, bro.
Put some respect on my name,
I like that.
I got underwear older than you, player. All right.
Hey, you probably do. You probably got a belt that's 40 years old too. I mean, hey, you probably got that weird 40-year-old belt.
In them either. All right. Just so that you know, youngster, put some respect on my name. And I ain't talking about Aretha Franklin, young man. Respect.
Hey, Ron. Tonight, his new name is Birdman. We have his new name. That's Birdman from Cash Money. Put some respect. He said.
Oh, okay, you said Birdman. Okay,
Birdman.
I got it.
Yeah. Put some respect on his name with a K. I gotta find that clip. I gotta play that clip next time.
Hey, look, I'm an old timer, but I like it when you young, players out there put some respect on my motherfucking name. All right?
Oh man, how much time we in?
All right, man. That's what I'm saying. Put some respect.
And I'm gonna tell you what I learned a long time ago. Respect is earned. So the more time we interact, the more respect I'm gonna earn.
And look, I have respect for everybody. Adam came on here from the other show. Man, the young man is showing his greatness as a commentator, and I'm giving him all the respect. Okay, other people have come on here. Sharon, we used to go at it, night. All the time, even Trisha Joy, people like that, I give them praise. I holler for those people. I have a show where people used to disagree with me. I let everybody come on. Everybody. Okay? Promoting everybody's show. So don't tell me about respect. I didn't get to where I am, and you gotta go without having respect for everybody.
R-E-S-P-E-K.
But just to let you know, where I grew up, you step on a dude's sneakers, he might blow your head off. So I know what respect is all about. I know what tippy-toeing is all about.
Tell him you from the projects, homie.
Respect is earned. That's all I'm going to say.
I also know that if you stand up to the bully, most of the time the bully will let you go.
Tell him.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Tell him. So I know about how this works on a social media, broadcasting as a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. And I also know about what broadcasting is like from being on a train and broadcasting live on the radio and on the PA for 30 plus years, my young man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give you props right there. Hey, you busted your ass. You earned it.
And had opportunities to work for WIP.
Yeah.
And had opportunities and did work for Greenberg and different places doing public address. So I know I have a well oiled background, young man, that speaks for itself.
All right.
Okay. So don't tell me about respect, because I respect everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Birdman.
Mm.
All right.
What happened to that boy?
Can I read a few more comments?
Hey,
Dennis?
Sharon, go to the
yes,
comments.
yes,
Yeah, sure. No problem.
All right, Yuri Barrow said, "Do not sleep on Paul George and the Clippers. They might make the finals."
You might drink some water. And this is how things might go.
Buck Flair said, "Guru was correct. Clippers ain't won shit." LOL.
Tell him,
yeah,
Buck
I
Flair. That'd be a hell of a
And
show.
Buck
You two
Flair-
motherfuckers on the show together.
Buck Flair said, "If Guru would wear Bulls t-shirt or jersey one show, I'll give him his prop. He knows basketball then." LOL, Czar.
Okay,
Oh,
now,
good for the
I'm
Bulls.
gonna do one for you. Who's that? Buck Flair.
Buck Flair.
Buck Flair, yeah.
I'm gonna do a little change, and I'm gonna just give you a little love, Buck. So give me a minute. You're gonna love this T-shirt when I come right back, Buck.
He's going to get it. Oh, cute. Well, anyway, Jay Jones says, "So PG the only player on the Clippers that missed shots and free throws?" No, Jay, I don't think that he was saying that he was the only one.
Jay Jones, but he's the
missed-
supposed superstar though.
But PG did miss the clutch free throws that cost him the game.
Right.
I got a lot of love.
There's
a
no
lot
other
of
way-
love
there's no
out here
other
for
way to
Paul
put it.
George.
I don't know why.
But I'm
I
saying,
mean, I like
what
him,
I'm
but
saying-
I don't love him.
but-
I like
I mean,
him.
I like
Don't
him
love him.
too, but he did miss those free throws that cost him the game.
Where was all these Paul George lovers?
Okay,
I just want to know where was hold on, Czar. Where was all these Paul George lovers at when he shot the side of the backboard last year in the motherfucking bubble?
Yeah, in the bubble.
Okay.
In the bubble, where the hell was they at?
In all the season. We
keep
come on
talking
here
about one
every
game.
Tuesday.
We keep
come
talking
on
about
here
one.
every Tuesday, and when we mention Paul George, don't nobody come in the comments defending Paul George.
Or don't nobody
we
come
about
on
one
here.
game. We keep talking about one game where he missed 2 free throws. That's all we keep talking about.
No, I just mentioned.
I mean, hey, one game will define your
Joel
entire.
I got
Embiid.
something.
Yeah,
Wait.
Joel Embiid did the same shit, and I ain't heard nobody bring it up
Wait a minute.
ever.
No. I
Yeah,
was talking
that-
about
that-
Joel
bullshit.
Embiid. Number two.
They talk
Paul
about Philly as much as possible in this show.
Wait a minute.
No, I ain't heard
Wait a
Embiid
minute.
take nothing.
Dennis.
All I keep hearing about Paul
wait a minute.
George, he
Czar.
just scored 40,
Wait a
and we
minute,
still
Czar.
talking about the
Wait a minute,
missed
Czar.
Czar,
And
you
Joel
must
Embiid lost
have
the
Czar.
spirit.
You must have
not
missed
be
the
on
show
right
because
show.
Ron don't miss a chance to talk about Philadelphia. Let's get that out the way.
Number two.
Anybody that watches this show or ever been on this show, Ron does not miss a chance
Number
to
two.
attack me about
That might be
Philadelphia.
Ryan, but not everybody else as much as
Everybody
else
one
else been
game.
talking about him.
But wait a minute. Bizarre, you said nobody. And the point is that's
y'all
incorrect
y'all
because
take shit
Ron
literal
did
too much.
call it out.
Y'all take it literally.
This
too much.
is-
Y'all know what I'm saying when I say that. Why y'all so literal? I don't mean when I say nobody, that doesn't mean zero.
Hey, Czar, we're
saying
sports fans.
all
We
we've been
take
talking
everything
about
literal.
is playoff P missing that free throw. Past tense, he's already performed since then, and yet Joel Embiid has gotten the pass and still getting the pass. They choked. They were the number 1 seed, and they're out of the playoffs. And no one is saying shit about Joel Embiid in generally. Maybe
Right?
one
No,
person
nobody
has.
that's because of Ben Simmons being so bad.
Right,
That's why.
or whatever the case.
But
Joel still lost
so now what I'm trying to say is there's a whole lot of new Paul George fans for some reason. I don't know where the fuck they came from, but I don't remember seeing these guys when he was in OKC. I don't remember seeing these guys last year in the bubble. I don't remember seeing these guys when he broke his leg in the Olympics.
Nope.
I don't know where these brand new fucking Paul George fans came from saying, oh, you got to let him go because he played both sides of the ball. God damn it. Everybody going to play both sides of the ball. This is bad. If you're supposed to be a superstar, this is what you're supposed to do. Other than that, stop saying he's a superstar. Just say, stop saying he's a superstar and then we won't have nothing to say.
Right.
We'll treat him like Terrence Mann.
Shit.
Right.
He
Exactly.
should not even get paid.
I mean,
like
he's a
that.
star, but I don't think he's a
and
superstar.
on Talker is Tuesday. We call it like we see it. When he plays well, we say he plays well. When he stinks up the place, we gonna say he stink up the place. That's what we gonna do. But all these people in the comments want us to praise him for some reason and only praise him. And I don't understand that. And I'm a fan.
It seems like there's always certain
I'm gonna
NBA
call it like
players.
it is.
There's always certain NBA players.
This last comment, Juke Ellington said, "Mean what you say and say what you mean."
Juke Ellington, you got Juke Ellington. We on our second season, player, and
Well, I tell you what.
And we've been doing this every Tuesday, Juke Ellington. So I want you to continue watching because in August we'll be on season 3. And even if we wrong, we come back on the show and let you know we wrong. I've been a trash ass player a lot.
Let's get that out of the way. That dude tripping anyway. Talking about.
I tell you what. Come on in here.
How many? Hold on. How many analysts, professional or not, hasn't played in the NBA but still can talk? We can do this, player. We don't got to.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about that. But I can tell he doesn't watch the show enough.
Marv Albert had one of the great careers ever. To retire after these.
He said we biased.
And
it don't matter. That's fine. But
Mike and the Mad Dog, who did this better than anybody, they talk. Michael K talk. So goddamn it, we talking. If you don't like it, don't listen. It's that simple.
That's simple.
I mean, that's the only comment I didn't. That's the only comment I didn't like because you don't have to play in the NBA.
Show in the land for nothing. Okay, so we bringing it. Everybody.
Hey, Juke Ellington, I can now say this is an award-winning show, player. So if you can do what you want, this is now an award-winning show, player. Award-winning show.
And Jay Jones, I didn't say that you were asking for praise for PG. I said people in the comments. There's more than you in the comments. So if it didn't,
it ain't just him in the comments. There's people out there with PG apology letters. And
yeah, I know.
I just think that's a funny meme. That's just a meme game. But
I'm just saying, I don't remember seeing no goddamn Rondo apology letters. I don't remember seeing no damn Anthony Davis. As much flack Anthony Davis, ain't no Anthony Davis apology letters.
They don't get the flack that playoff P get.
I know somebody that get more flack than playoff P. Chris Paul. And when he goes to the finals, there will not be no goddamn apology letter for Chris Paul.
I don't think Chris Paul around the world gets more flack than Paul George. I don't agree.
I think he does. I remember 3 years ago.
No, but I'm just saying, and generally, year to year, I don't know what Guru thinks, but I think Paul George still gets more flack than Chris Paul. James Harden is up there in that same category. He gets a lot of flack and undeserved stuff. Some stuff he has deserved, and he didn't play defense.
Harden
years later.
James Harden deserves every bit of flack he gets.
Wait a minute.
Every ounce of it. He deserves.
Zar, when you get paid like a superstar and you don't show the fuck up what they're saying.
I mean, that's such an general statement, though, Ron.
I feel it's owed up, but let me say it like this, though. I feel the same way about Rudy Gobert.
Nah, Rudy Gobert ain't got no offensive game to carry a team.
But we talking about you. We don't talk about your money until your game gets funny.
Hey, Shaq,
don't talk about your money. In the words of Deion Sanders, we don't talk about your money until your game get funny.
Shaq did say you can be 7 feet and average 12 points and get 200 million, referring to Gobert. He did say that. So I'm just saying they call him a hater, but.
Well, hey, look, I gotta go record my show right now. But hey, thanks for having me on, Sports Guru. Let's talk later.
Hey, you welcome to come on anytime you want, there, Mr. Sports Angle. Anytime you want, Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Sports Guru Live, and we can debate. And you know what? I show everybody respect on my show.
Remember that?
You got it.
Hey, so how do y'all feel about these? All these vacant teams have now picked up these new head coaches, and I would like to know exactly how do y'all feel about these new head coaches going to certain situations. Double A, we ain't talked to you in a while. Double A, how do you feel?
Hey, you want me to go down the list first? Want me to list them out first, Dennis? So everybody know what we're talking about?
Yeah, you can list them out.
Portland signed Chauncey Billups. Pacers signed Rick Carlisle. The Celtics signed Ime Udoka, who was the former 76ers assistant. Dallas signed Jason Kidd, who was the Lakers assistant for the last 2 years. And the Pelicans, Magic, and Wizards are still to be determined. All right, now go, Adam.
I think some of these moves have been great, personally. just speaking from a Blazers fan perspective, I like the move for that we got Chauncey Billups, but I unfortunately I've read articles where that move didn't necessarily, or I should say, wasn't necessarily a popular move by our star franchise player in Damian Lillard.
Mm.
Dame wanted Jason Kidd, and because of the fact that we fell short of getting Jason Kidd, he's a little salty on top of more than what he already feels from the weight of what he had to go through from carrying that team to where he got him to. And I just hope that that move at least give Chauncey a chance, but I doubt it at this point, just because of all how social media works. Like I understand that these rumors are coming up for a reason why he's getting traded and so forth. But another good coaching move I like is the fact that I definitely think it was time for Rick Carlisle to either get fired / step down. I definitely think that a coach that that fits with Luka's style will definitely help. And I think Rick Carlisle wasn't necessarily the coach that was getting it done for Luka, especially with Luka being the franchise, and he's only 22 or 23 years old. So I just hope that the moves continue to benefit teams. And yeah.
A question.
What?
I got a question.
No.
I got one too.
I gotta ask Adam a question. What in the world did you see in Rick Carlisle's performance this season that makes you believe that he was the problem and not Luka?
Fact that Luka can consistently perform statistically and get it done time after time after time after having no support whatsoever.
Were you watching the same games I was watching?
Yeah, he consistently puts up around 30, dang near a triple double every single game. It's not his fault that his teammates can't necessarily carry their weight.
But okay, that may be true, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what you said. You said that Rick Carlisle wasn't getting it done, especially for Luka, as if Rick was doing something detrimental to him.
Rick tried to rely on Kristaps Porzingis a little too much in my eyes, and it took focus away from Luka.
When the whole offense was always run through Luka. Porzingis was already mad because he was an afterthought. He was an afterthought all season.
Because of the fact that he was thinking that he was an afterthought, Rick Carlisle felt pressured. Did you not see some of the plays that were unnecessarily designed for Kristaps didn't necessarily need to be designed for him, is what I'm saying right now.
No.
Okay. I'll accept that.
No.
I
will accept that because I do feel that Luka thought more of himself and his role than he should have because he was not delivering. So I agree with that. But I'm not really sure if that was a Rick Carlisle problem or him trying to coach up one of his star players and trying to motivate him to be better, because you got to show a certain amount of belief in a player to get them to perform up to their ability as they see it. Wouldn't you say?
I agree with that, but I just feel like personally, I feel like for media purposes, Rick Carlisle will say the right things about Luka, but deep down inside, I feel like he just didn't feel like Luka was the guy.
Because he ain't. But that's okay. Because he's not.
Ron, go ahead, Ron.
But okay.
After that, I don't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, you ain't got your question. What was your question?
Man, I lost all respect for you, Adam.
No, this is my thing right here. See those? I know what it is. It's those Luka lovers. See, those Luka lovers don't want to believe that Trey's better. But Dallas made a mistake. They traded for the wrong guy. Those Luka lovers. But that's all right. He's gonna fade out, just like I said, just like Peja Stojakovic. He gonna fade right the fuck out.
He's not gonna fade out. Trey has a better chance of fading out playing for Atlanta than Luka does for Dallas.
I'm sorry. Is Atlanta in the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm sorry.
It's the East.
Is the East?
It's the East.
Adam, I know you hate Atlanta, but you gotta get your hate out of your heart.
Gotcha. Can I ask you a question? No, you're right. You know what, Adam? You're right. It is the East. Let me ask you this question. So, this is me throwing ifs out there, and I ain't supposed to be throwing ifs. But let's just say, the Clippers go to the finals with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and now Atlanta goes to the finals, and Trae Young and Atlanta Hawks beats the LA Clippers. Is he then better than Luka?
Nope.
Okay, then it's just it's straight Trae hate. That's all it is. I just want to make sure. All right. I just want to make sure because the team that you couldn't get past, I whooped their ass, but I ain't better than you.
Trey has a better supporting cast. Trey has a better supporting cast than Luka does.
You were saying that on March 1st when they were 14 and 20? Because I noticed everybody keeps saying they so much of a better supporting cast. They was a better supporting cast on March 1st when they fired their coach and wasn't even going to make the playoffs.
Better supporting cast. I would take the supporting cast that Trey has right now, surrounded with Luka. Luka would still be in the final or in the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Easy.
Let me read these comments. Juke said Porzingis getting paid, but we not calling him trash or he need to go.
No, we did call him trash, Juke. You need to go back and watch a couple more shows. They're on YouTube if you want to.
Some past shows.
You're going to have to watch some past shows. We've been calling him trash.
Juke said Adam tripping. And Juke said, so you blame the coach, Adam? You blame the coach? And he put laugh emojis behind that. And then Buck Flair said, I hope Rick has success again with the Pacers. Maybe he can teach the Pacers to play defense again. Juke said, wasn't Carlisle the coach that got them the ring? And then Dan Cartier said, I feel like that statement is
Luka on the
unfair.
team with Rick got them that ring? Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to know.
No, they had a good player called Dirk Nowitzki. They didn't have a selfish ass player.
Didn't Dirk say that Luka's already miles better ahead of him than what he is?
Yeah, but that don't mean he's a team player.
That doesn't mean it's true.
As a motherfucker, as what we say in the hood, there was a motherfucker up north that was better than Jordan. But does that mean he was better than Jordan?
No.
That's what they say in the hood. Didn't you hear that, Guru?
Hey, Earl Manigault, Juguru.
Let me get through these comments. Anyway, let me get through these comments.
Okay,
Des Cartier said, I feel like that statement is unfair. It's not Rick Carlisle's fault. It's definitely a team thing. That Dallas team isn't built to win a chip. Buck Flair said Luka needs star big man or forward to play with. He needs a big man. And then, oh God.
I agree, but
and then Buck Flair said, I agree with that statement. Buck Flair said Trey not as good as Luka. That was directed at
thanks,
you, Dennis.
Buck, I love you, Buck, but I know that's some bullshit.
Duke Ellington said facts. Luka gonna fade. Buck Flair said Luka been playing professional ball since he was 13 years old.
Duke, that's the best shit you said on the show. Let me get that out the way.
And that's true. But Buck Flair said, tell Guru appreciate the shirt. So Buck Flair appreciates your shirt. He appreciates your shirt, Mr. Hargrove.
Hey man, at least Buck Flair got a little style. Czar ain't say shit. You know, he always talking about the Bulls. Put on a shirt for these.
I only recognize championship T-shirts.
That is a champ. You're not paying attention to the T-shirt. Did you pay attention to the T-shirt?
The whole shirt. I can't see it. Back up. Oh, I had that meme. I had that on the meme. I didn't see the whole thing. My bad. Yeah, I saw blue and gold and went the other way. My bad.
So that's all the comments.
Good shirt.
All right, but let me say something about these new hires. First of all, Mr. Udoka, shout out to my man because he's 43 years old and happens to have had a baby and be with one of the finest black 50-year-old women in the world and Nia Long. So shout out to my Nigerian American brother, because he obviously knows how to pick them. And I go back to one of my favorite shows, Love Jones, and that's my girl Nia Long. So I have to mention that. Okay, that's first of all. And I believe he was on the Brooklyn Nets staff last year also. So just to give him his props, he was with Philadelphia 2 years ago. He coached well with the Nets, and obviously that helped him. I guess parlay that into a head coaching job. So good for him. As far as nobody mentioned the fact, and I always like to mention things that maybe other people miss. Chauncey Billups is getting a lot of flack from, I guess, women's rights people because of the fact that he had some sort of, I don't know if it was a rape allegation or something to that effect quite a few number of years ago. And people are upset that Becky Hammon did not get the job. Let me say that about, because I have a daughter, I have a mother, and I hate when, women do this, to be honest with you. This is a NBA. Now, they got a WNBA where 60% of the daggone coaches are men, okay? And they got college basketball where 60% or maybe even more of the coaches, once again, are men, okay? These are women leagues that they need to make sure, even when it comes to referees, that the referees outnumber the men in their leagues. That's where it all starts because, I coached women's basketball for many years, but that was because there wasn't that many good women coaches when my daughter was 10 years old. So I had to coach or she would have never learned the game. Okay. But now the game has grown so much that there's so many women out there that are capable of coaching these young ladies, and they need to be coaching them. They also need to be supporting their games, because all we seem to see is narratives why they get paid less than a janitor or whatever. Hey, you can make that comment about a lot of different professions. Why do school teachers are underpaid? Why are cops and firemen underpaid? So we could do that all day long. The reality is the job pays what the job pays. When you go for any job interview, they tell you what your hourly rate is. They don't pop it up, after the fact. So, we got to stop doing that and pushing that narrative. Women got to go for the jobs that they are capable of having in women's basketball. And yes, maybe at some time, Patrick Ewing played in the damn NBA forever, and he couldn't get a head coaching job, a black man. So, he was so salty about it, he went and coached his alma mater at Georgetown. Okay, so it's not going to happen overnight. They're not just going to give Becky Hammond a job. Does she deserve a job? I don't even know if she deserves a job. Maybe Teresa Weatherspoon deserves it. Maybe Dawn Staley deserves it.
Shout out to Dawn Staley.
Who tried to say that Becky Hammond is the only qualified woman to get a man coaching job or a job in the NBA, not men's coaching job. That's
Cheryl Miller.
Well, she's not in the coach. She's not
She
even
should be.
Well, I don't know. I know she's not even commentating anymore, to my knowledge. And she was a probably the greatest women's basketball player ever. And I thought she did a fine job with TNT. And I was sad that I don't see her anymore. But I'm also sad that I don't see Kerry Champion or Jamel Hill. Okay,
they got their own show on another network, I believe.
Well, they do a podcast.
Yeah, they do a podcast together.
It's doing well. I think it's doing well.
Yeah, well, hey, good. I mean, I'm glad for that. But I'm just saying that this is the nature of the beast. This is the nature of the business. So you move on and you move on. So, like I said, let's just see what happens with these other coaching jobs. Chauncey Billups, hopefully he redeemed himself. All the details are a little fuzzy when it comes to that. I mean, it's just like when I want to go after Kobe and talk about his situation. I wasn't there, so we weren't there with Mike Tyson in that situation. So we gotta, hey, people make mistakes in this world. My mother always says that's why erasers are on pencils. So let's see what happens with these situations. Let's see, as far as Lillard is concerned, he wanted Jason Kidd. It didn't happen. Now he's got Chauncey. Maybe he gets traded. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a moving target right now. Okay, so I'm glad to see some African Americans get those jobs. That's why I am glad, because before the season started, they only had a few more than that lousy NFL as far as African American coaches, and that league is 70% black. Okay, and it's built on the back of African American men. Okay, and I guarantee you one thing: the people that are getting paid the most in the NBA, even though players get paid a lot, it's still not African American men. The families that's benefiting from that the most don't look nothing like me or my family. Guaranteed, as Charles Barkley would say. Guaranteed. Okay. So,
all right.
Let's keep it real with that concern when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay.
Anybody else got anything to say about these coaches?
All right.
Just real quick. I mean, y'all touched up on everything. Kidd. Yeah, real quick. This reminds me real short. Jason Kidd, I mean, he's from out here. I played against him, and actually I played against him non-recreational at parks in Oakland. Didn't realize, what he was going to turn out to be. But, I hope he does well. I'm not convinced because, I'm just not sure. Now Chauncey Billups, is another crapshoot, but again, hope he does well. I know he was a Mr. Big Shot. And so, no, I'm like Guru. I'm happy to see more brothers get an opportunity. And I'm wishing this time around for Kid to be better. And then I'm wishing for Chauncey. I think they both are in really good situations, unlike Kid has been previously. Hopefully Lillard stays, because if I'm Chauncey, I definitely want Lillard to stay. Other than that, Carlisle's Carlisle. He's a good coach. To get to, step down and go there. I guess he was still under contract. That was some weird stuff, but Cuban let him off the hook and didn't ask for no money back when he could have, because he was still under contract. He just wanted out of Dallas. Maybe he didn't like coaching Luka. I have no idea what's behind that.
Why would he give money back, Czar?
Because he was under contract. Dallas let him off.
But he
still
paid nothing. He ain't getting nothing.
No, I'm telling you, go look it up. Dallas said they're not going to request it. They said that Dallas could have made him pay back some money, but Cuban said it's okay. I read that.
Yeah,
I'll look it up again to make sure I'm accurate on that. But I thought I saw, because he left under contract, and then he went to coach another team, and Dallas was like, okay, no problem, it's cool. But I'll look it up, in a minute, and I'll confirm that. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So go ahead, Sharon.
Well, here's some more details about the signings of Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups. Those are the two that are controversial. The other ones really are not. And for Chauncey Billups, his case was back in 1997 that Damon mentioned. A woman accused him and Ron Mercer, his teammate at the time, of raping her. No criminal charges were ever filed, but there was a rape kit done on the young lady that showed evidence of sexual assault, and Chauncey ended up settling the civil case. Still doesn't mean that he was guilty. That was never proven, but that was the situation. Then you have Jason Kidd, who has been a head coach at Milwaukee and Brooklyn before, and last 2 seasons was a Los Angeles Laker assistant. But back in 2001, he was arrested for suspicion of hitting his wife. He pled guilty to spousal abuse, and then in 2012, he pled guilty to a DUI. So that's the background of those two individuals. What do I have to say about it? As all of you know, in sports, there are players on teams that have done bad things, but America tends to be a country of redemption stories, and I'm big on redemption stories. I believe people in second chances and third chances sometimes. It depends on the situation. But here's the main issue with the Chauncey Billups situation. Women are coming out, like Damon mentioned, and really blasting the Trailblazers for signing him. One of the comments that I found from a woman, her reaction was, let me find it. Her reaction was,
while you're finding that, just real quick, yeah, it says Carlisle had 2 years left, so they still controlled it. And it just simply said that Mark Cuban just said he's not going to complicate Carlisle's quest for a new opportunity, but he definitely could ask for compensation.
Oh yeah, well that's different from. He ain't get paid next year's salary, and he don't get a signing bonus.
No. Again, that's all I said. That's just all I read. I thought that was still kind of, they said he could have.
No, well, he definitely could have asked for compensation. You're right, because normally you can block your coach going somewhere different, right. And he could, and Cuban had every right to do that. But let's face it, he wanted him out of there.
Right.
So why the hell would he block him?
No, I get it. I get it.
He's not being Father Flanagan. The fact of the matter is, Luka, who obviously a lot of people on this panel don't seem to like, was cursing out his coach in the middle of timeouts.
Right.
That ain't a good look. Okay. If LeBron James was cursing out some coach, or somebody else was cursing out a coach, Luka would have been under a lot of more fire. Okay, so let's be fair about that. Luka got, that's something that is not really that cool. cursing out your coach in front of teammates in a timeout. I heard that. Okay,
I heard it
that's
too.
fact.
Me
Okay,
too.
so you know,
Yeah, that
I
wasn't
don't know
cool.
what that's about. I don't know if he was cursing him out in Smoke, whatever language he speaks, or American, because he gets a lot of technicals for a guy that don't speak great English, but he seems to get a lot of technicals. So
I said that too.
you know,
Guru, you preaching to the choir, Guru.
all right. So let's just keep it real. I'm not here to. I don't care one way about Luka, and I got to. You know, one thing I'm gonna just end on this. I'll say this about Luka because obviously there's a big thing with you, Dennis. You wouldn't trade Luka for Trae Young today.
I wouldn't
That's
trade
all
Luka
I'm
for Trey.
saying.
I don't
No,
know
no, no,
about
no.
that.
I
Well,
said
well,
I had
if you
this
do,
argument
then
since
guess
last
what?
year.
Guess what? You
Know
don't know
about that.
basketball then. 'Cause
No,
this
no, no.
man-
Listen,
Here you
Guru,
guys-
I'm telling you. I
And
had
that's just like
this
Rocco
argument-
saying you
hold on,
don't know
Zara,
basketball.
Zara,
Okay, well,
let me
then
clear it up.
say
Zara,
it.
let me clear it up. I had this argument last year.
Yeah, that's great.
That's just the way I feel.
That's perfectly
He
fine.
lets-
I
he
do.
let- hold on, Zara. I'm talking to Guru. Let me talk to Guru. He talk about me today. I ain't Dennis Holmes today. I've been Dennis Holmes for 35 years. And I'm the Ignorant Thinker podcast because I see shit differently than everybody else. It ain't about who knows basketball, don't know basketball. I know
Right,
what I
exactly.
see. This motherfucker ain't gonna last long. Bet your money on him if you want to. He'd be just like the Clippers you talk about. Bet on it. Let's bet on it. I'm with you now. Let's bet on it. You always talk about a bet. Let's bet on
So
it.
what are
more
we
than a
betting?
daggone dollar too.
What
That's
are we
right.
betting?
More than a dollar.
Hold on.
More than a
What are
dollar.
we
Damn
betting?
right, Guru. More than a dollar.
What are we betting?
No, I ain't betting you.
Thank you.
I ain't betting you. That's a waste of fucking
Luka's
argument.
gonna have a
Let's go to the
15.
next
But
question.
if Luka don't get injured, he's gonna have a 15 whatever year career like any other.
Wait a minute.
great
It
player.
might be 15 years and no championships, no MVPs.
That goes for a lot of greats.
I'm just letting you know.
Let me ask
He
you
already
a
gonna go to the Hall of Fame because he's been playing since he was 13 overseas. They already gonna give him that.
Adam, you seem to be very adamant about Luka. What about him cursing out Carlisle during these timeouts?
Is he the only
Adam?
player?
Luka
Is he
fans,
the only player
Luka
that
fans
ever
don't
cuts
see
out
that.
a coach?
I ain't. Who the hell?
I've seen many of players cuss out. Come on, man.
Who?
Terrell
And you-
Owens.
Who?
I haven't seen plenty of players.
But you ain't seen arguments on the sideline of NBA games with
They
star
made it
players versus
seem-
their
I'm not
coach?
saying, well, like you said earlier, don't be so literal. I didn't say I've never seen arguments on the sideline with the coach. That's not what I'm saying. But straight, flat out cussing the coach out.
The head
during the
coach,
game, the head coach.
the head
In front
coach
of
is
other
different.
players? In front of
In a
other players?
nationally televised game? No, that is not a commonplace occurrence.
No,
You
it's
can't
not. I'm
tell me
sorry.
it is. All right,
And let me
it's
tell you
not.
also, it don't get out that much either.
No.
But
Let
this is
me
my
get-
thing.
let
I've seen Tom Brady cuss out his assistant, and as we can see, his ass is no longer in the league. You seen what he did with the Houston Texans, made that dumbass trade for DeAndre Hopkins. Tom Brady went to another place and won the championship. Obviously, we know who the problem is.
Well, that's football. We ain't talking about that. But let me get back to what I was saying. So with this Portland Trailblazers signing of Chauncey Billups, a woman said, at this moment, I feel unheard. I feel like my feelings and opinions and those of the women I love and respect who have survived abuse don't matter at all. They dangled a woman's name in front of us to make us think she had a chance and then turned around and hired a man with rape allegations against him. The reason why I picked that statement to comment on is because I sort of share Mr. Hargrove's opinion on this. And I'm the only woman in this room right now talking on this podcast. And I'm just speaking from a woman's point of view. I feel like it's detrimental for women to automatically assume that because a woman didn't get the job, it's some type of sexist shenanigans going on. Because when the shenanigans do go down, you can't tell the difference. If every time something like this happened, you're going to say you dangled a woman's name in front of us as if they were pretending. I don't necessarily believe that they were pretending. And I also do not believe that just because she's a woman that she should be hired. So they can say we hired our first female or woman NBA head coach. No, it needs to be a person who truly deserves the position, who's better than everybody else, who outshine all her competition to get the position. That's it. And you can't automatically assume that that wasn't the case just because she didn't get the job. And I think it's very dangerous for women to make these blanket statements. It hurts us more than it helps us. That's all I'm saying on that in that respect. But as far as whether or not they should have these jobs, I mean, as far as basketball is concerned, they're qualified for the jobs. So I don't take too much issue with it. But as long as sports organizations are allowing rapists and murderers and other racists to be in the league and play their sport, I mean, you're always going to have this happen. I'm not even shocked by it anymore.
I know I've seen plenty of players yell at their coach. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, we get to that in a little bit, but we got to get to
James
these
was
top.
one of
We
them,
got to
but
get to the top 10 female. Yeah, my fault. We got to get to your top 10 female R&B artists. That's what
Can
we
I
got.
read these comments? Can I
Yeah,
read
you
these
can read them.
comments? Comments blazing. Uh, uh, mm. So Daz Cartier said, let's not sit here and pretend Becky isn't qualified though. And I said, is she more qualified than Chauncey though? And then Buck Flair said, I really thought Becky would get job this year with the Pacers, but the Pacers made that mistake last year by hiring a guy who's gone after 1 year. Duke Ellington said more qualified women that didn't get the chance that Becky got.
Right.
Buck Flair said Sam Cassell waiting too. Duke Ellington said Lucas should get knocked for that. This is the new NBA. Jay Jones said, I agree with Dennis. Luka gonna fall off. Buck Flair said Al and Larry Brown. And he said Keyshawn Johnson cut for messing with John Gruden. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Giannis free throw blunders continues, is what Buck Flair said. Hawks up 13 without Trey.
They don't talk
And
about
Des
it.
Cartier said Becky is more than qualified to be a head coach in the NBA. That's not what I said, Des. I said, is she more qualified than Chauncey? That was my question. Now, I wasn't saying that she's not qualified to be a head coach. I just asked, is she more qualified than Chauncey? That was my only question. So that's all the comments.
All right, Ron, you ready?
Oh yeah.
Come on, let's get to these
Doing
sexy
the R&B? You doing the R&B
Yeah.
or the
R&B.
Oh, yeah.
I got Mary J. Blige. I got Tony Braxton,
Okay.
Aaliyah, my girl Jill Scott, Faith Evans,
That's my girl.
Keisha Cole, Anita Baker,
Yeah.
Kelly Price, Shaka Khan, and Deborah Cox.
Who's number one?
Mary J. Blige.
Real love. I'm talking. Oh, my bad. I got hyped for a minute.
Guru, you ready?
Down, Czar.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Down, Czar.
Okay. Number 10. I got none other than the great Mariah Carey in his house. Number 9, back to back with the Jungle Fever, Tina Marie, the late Rick James. Shout out to him too.
Shame.
Number what's that? 10, not 8. Well, this lady, I've always been critical of her. You know, what's that? That show she did. What was that name? Oh God, I can't remember. With the sanitation man. What was the name of that show? The brother who was the sanitation man. That was a classic, man. I'll figure out the name of it. But we're gonna give her number. What is that? 10, 9, 8. That would be Diana Ross. Number 7, the great Lauryn Hill.
Oh,
Number 6, Mary J. Blige. Number 5, shout out to my girl right here in the Wiz, the great Stephanie Mills. Number 4, the wonderful, superb Gladys Knight. Number 3, may God rest her soul, and her daughter Christina.
Christina.
Yeah, and that breaks my heart every time I think about that. But I got to give my girl Whitney Houston. No one has a voice like her. Number 2, this lady has transcended, R&B, and she could be number 1, but I'm gonna give her number 2, and that is the great Patti LaBelle. And drum roll, Cousin Dennis. Hey, it was easy for me because she's the queen. She's the queen. What else do you need to say? There's a king, there's a queen, and the queen of soul, none other than the great. Rest in peace, beautiful queen, Aretha Franklin. Number 1, Aretha Franklin. There you have it. Guru's top 10.
Okay, Sharon, you ready?
that was a pretty good list, Guru. Except for that Lauryn Hill. I almost choked when I heard that.
Yeah, because I don't feel as though Lauryn Hill's a singer, all right? I don't know Lauryn Hill singing albums. That's the only reason why I kind of think you could have put somebody else in there, like Beyonce. You could do Beyonce in there.
Well, see, for
Beyonce
me,
can't even sing.
I feel just the opposite, Dennis. I feel like Lauryn Hill is more of a singer than a rapper. I don't feel like she's a rapper.
I think
But she's on everybody's rap list. I'm like, what? She's not a rapper.
To me,
Anyway.
and let me just say this: the reason why I have Lauryn Hill there, because I just think her voice is scintillating. I love her voice. When I listen to her music, and I'm not, I'm not as into music as I am to sports, but we all love music. We all grew up with our parents loving music, but I just love her voice. Her voice soothes me. So that's why I had to put it in there. But go ahead. Everybody has their own list, but that's mine, and I love my top 10.
I love your list too. I love it. I love Ron's list. My list is my list, and everybody's entitled, right? Right, Damon?
That's true.
But, this is my top 10. Just a mention how I came up with my list. It's not just about my favorites, and it's not about whose voice is the best. It's a combination of all of it. Who I like the most, who can sing, who can dance, entertain. Are they an entertainer? Are they a triple threat?
The
Are
music.
they just a vocalist? And also how iconic their music is all wrapped up into my top 10. So my top 10 is number 10 is Janet Jackson. Number 9 is Roberta Flack. Number 8 is Mariah Carey. 7, Mary J. Blige. 6, Patti LaBelle. 5, Gladys Knight. 4, Diana Ross. 3 is Beyonce. 2 is Whitney Houston, and 1 is the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. That's my list.
All right. Same thing, Sharon. I was actually going to do all that, but you said it. It's not necessarily the best voice. This is This is actually personal, but obviously it's a combination of how the music impacted me, how great I think they can sing, what I grew up on, yada yada yada. So it's just like an overall gumbo. I can say it's gumbo. So we're gonna start with a couple of Jungle Fevers too, Guru. So number 10, and she didn't make these 2 Jungle Fevers didn't make none of y'all listen, which is fine, but hey, I mean it is what it is. Taylor Dane, number 10 for me. I don't know if you know much about her, but the woman can blow. She's had songs that that I grew up on. If you haven't heard her, Google her, check out some of her music. She's a white woman with a black voice. She's a beast. Um, the next Jungle Fever is Cyndi Lauper. She has her own distinctive voice range and can blow out the sky. And she has a couple of big songs, Time After Time being one that's one of my favorite all-time songs that's been used in a lot of movies, etc., whatever. All right. Number 8, we're going to go with Anita Baker. Oh, my heart. I ain't going to sing it, but you know what I'm saying.
Caught up in the rapture of you.
I know the love scene you're talking about. And number 7, we're going with Guru's number 1 at number 7. Again, Aretha's great, but I didn't, again, if we're going just strictly off impact voices, whatever. But like I said, I didn't bump a lot of her music, and she's still in my top 10. She's a great. I'm waiting for the movie to come out. I just saw the trailer. Looked like Jennifer Hudson did her justice, but some of her, she just wasn't impacted on me personally. But number 7 is Aretha the Queen. Number 6 is Patti LaBelle, what you mentioned her, another great voice, and her Prince tribute on the BET Awards years back, man, was just incredible. If y'all didn't see it, Google it. Number 5, we got Shaka Khan. Number 4, we got Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
She's on there. Number 3, obviously, like I said, when I say this name, she didn't make y'all list, but if y'all including everything, not just singing, I don't know how she isn't, but Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
I did
Huge.
mention her.
Oh, did you mention her on yours?
That was the first. That's the first.
Okay,
name
apologies.
I did. Number
Apologies.
10. Number 10 was Janet Jackson.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, she's a female Michael Jackson, in my opinion. She just reminds me so much of him. Control and Rhythm Nation is that's the main reason for me. Like hit after hit. Yes, she's not the best singer, but she has probably the best material, thanks to Jimmy Lewis, Terry Gino, Jimmy Jim, Terry, all the great people that they were able to give her, whatever the case. So probably has the best catalog to me, are right up there. Number 2, I was going back with 2 and 1, but I'm gonna stick to my guns and just what I prefer and what, I'm gonna go Whitney Houston, number 2. Number 2, she almost made the number 1 spot, but I told you last night, Guru, I don't give now what you say. I got jungle fever, fever. Tina motherfucking Marie. You know what I'm saying? Fire and desire.
Well, I got up there, but
Tina Marie is black. I don't care what y'all say. That woman, when I first heard her,
she got some black in her.
She married a black lady.
She has some black in her.
I know that. I know all about her. That woman, when I heard her, man.
Once you go black, you never go back.
Tina Marie. Right. And there you go.
Okay. All right. That was cool. I'm just gonna do what I like, since
right.
I see everybody else doing what they like. I'm gonna do what I like. So number 10 for me is Faith Evans. All right. Number 9 is Alicia Keys. All right. Number 8 is Diana Ross. Number 7 is Janet Jackson. Number 6 is Patti LaBelle. Number 5 is Mary J. Blige. Number 4 is Mariah Carey. Number 3 is Aretha Franklin. Number 2 is Whitney Houston. And number 1 is the Queen Bee, the Beehive, Beyonce.
Okay.
First of all, y'all need to start that, because Beyonce can't really sing,
I don't like her at all.
You can say what you want.
I don't like her at all. Her music, she can sing. No. Beyonce can sing. No, she can sing. I heard her sing. I think her material sucks.
Yeah, you a hater.
I love her material, and she can sing.
Sharon,
somebody in the comments put that she can't sing. I'm like, you're
no, she can sing. I
Sharon,
heard her
can
sing.
you do this? Because I know you. This is right up your alley. Can you take all of our picks and then weight it and see who we come out with number 1? You follow what I'm saying? You take all of our picks.
I know what you mean.
And then come out without. I know who's gonna win. So, obviously I can feel it already
Hey,
because of.
if all of y'all will put your list in the chat, I can do that.
Okay, that's what I want to happen.
But wait, what'd you
Not
say,
the-
Guru?
not
You
the-
said what?
Just
You
give
said
her
you
your
know,
list.
no. I know what he said. You said you already know who gonna win. Who you know gonna win? Because I see I be catching you.
Hold on, I'll tell you why. Because you take the person who has the closest to number one and who has that person on top, more times than anybody else. And so if you take my pick, of course, the Queen of Soul, and then Sharon has the Queen of Soul, and then say somebody else has her like in the top three, she's gonna win, and the Guru's gonna be proven right. And
I thought you meant that the fans was gonna vote on.
No, I'm talking
Oh.
about our
No, he's
show
just talking about
called
amongst us.
Tuesday. Our number one. That's how they do
That's
it. It's
why
like
I
a
said
weighted.
put your list in the messenger chat, and I can look at that.
Absolutely. Now you could also do it like the way you want to do it. If you want the fans to vote on it, I'm not a fan. This part of our show. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
when you use the criteria that I gave, you cannot beat Aretha Franklin. I'm sorry, you just can't. Nobody.
But you did say entertaining.
For
You
material.
did say
No,
entertainment.
no, but what I said based upon the criteria that I gave, that's what I'm saying. It's not just about vocals. Now,
Dennis?
vocally, if you just want to talk about who can sing the best, it's Whitney Houston. Nobody can match her voice.
Big D.
Her voice is amazing.
All I got to do is tell you this, Big D. On Aretha Franklin's song, she said, "Give me some of that stuff."
What's that stuff?
Give me some of that stuff, boy. That's all I got to say. Y'all, you do whatever you want, Big D. But when a woman tell me, "Give me some of that stuff," I'm done. I'm done. That's all I'm saying.
I seen her on since this is Talk You Is Tuesday, I'm gonna say something off the hook right here. I seen her on Soul Train with no brow on, so you know what I mean. I can understand where your love came from for. You understand?
Oh my God! Somebody said Marsha Ambrosia is a better singer than Marsha Ambrosia. Can't carry a tune. She sings off key. What the hell are you talking about, Jude? You out of your mind?
His name is Juice.
Come on. He must not have an ear. She sings off key.
No, I don't think he's been. You know what it is? This new generation is spoiled. They don't do acapella in this new generation. That's like fucking. That's banned. Acapella's not done in this new generation because a lot of singers wouldn't make it on acapella.
No.
A lot of them wouldn't make it.
They all use auto-tune.
Yeah.
Like these young ladies that's coming up now, like Ella May and all of them, they all use auto-tune. You don't even hear their real voices. It's all electronic. I can't stand it. But that's the only way they can sell records because they can't really sing.
Preach, Sharon. Preach for these youngsters.
And don't talk to me about Marsha Ambrosia. I could do a whole show on Marsha Ambrosia. No. When she comes on an award show, I turn the channel. I cannot stand to hear her sing. She is awful. If Beyonce say yes, she can't sing.
She got that song, that Jones she did about the two couple that was gay and they killed themselves. That was a good song.
Yeah, I know it, but I'm talking about her voice. I'm not talking about how much we liked the song and what it meant and the lyrics and all that great stuff in the video. That's not what I'm talking about.
I told you who I thought was a good singer. I said personally that Jaguar Wright was better than Deborah Cox, and that's just me. Now,
no Canadians made our list.
Dennis,
no Canadians
Duke
made our
Ellington
list.
wanted to make sure that you know that he's 40. I'm like 40. I'm 55 years old. I just turned 55 this year. You ain't just get on to the back of the line. You don't know what you're talking about. If you
Duke, put you in the comments.
is a better singer than Beyonce.
When the last time you've been to a soul concert? Who's the best singer? Juke, let me ask you this, Juke. Who's the best singer you heard live? Put that in the comments, Juke.
I gotta say this. Next week, Juke, whatever your name is, come in here.
Yeah, DM us so you can be on the show.
All that talking on the chat, they're all good, but come in here.
This is Talk You Ish.
Just let the record show who's asking you to come in here, because I ain't asking. Because you can
I
piss
am.
me off. Anytime you
I
gonna sit there and say Marsha Ambrosia can sing better than Beyonce, nah, we don't
I
need you in here. No, but the
Or,
hoes,
or have
they're
them call,
asking you to come in here, Juke, so you can
have them
come
call
on
the
in here.
contest line, man.
Yes, Juke, I can sing. I've actually won contests. I've won awards for my singing ever since I was in high school. So yes, I can sing, and I've taken voice lesson, music lesson. I
Why
play
does he
3
always
instruments.
go there like
Don't
we
mess
in
with me
the
about
we're not
music.
in the,
Every time somebody disagree with you, the first I can see what kind of person you are. Every time somebody disagree with you, all you want to question is their qualifications to speak.
crazy.
And I'm letting you know. And you saying, "Oh, so have you? You've sung too? Yeah, you might have sung in the shower. If you say that Marsha Ambrosia sings better than Beyonce, you must not have an ear. Maybe you blew your eardrums out listening to loud
Fans
music
are
in
the
your
ones
car
that
or
make the
something.
stars.
Because
We buy
ain't
the
no
music.
way you can say that Marsha Ambrosia sings better than Beyonce.
Who's this?
2021.
Sharon, who you talking about? Who's this person you talking about?
This Juke.
Juke
Juke
Ellington.
trying to ask me.
Okay, well, I got a challenge with you, Duke.
As if I gotta be a
Juke,
singer
it's
to
Juke.
know what I'm
You
talking
can come
about.
on.
But I
You
do
can come
sing,
on.
and like I said, I have won awards. Have you? You won awards, Juke?
I've been
won
dying to
contests.
have
I beat
somebody
singers
other
from
than
across the
Ballhead
country.
Czar.
I've
I've
done
been
that.
dying to have somebody other than Ballhead Czar and Broken Down Dennis sing on my show. Okay, so please come on Sports Guru Live on Saturday at 10 o'clock, and you and Sharon can sing for some money. Whoever wins the money, wins the pot of gold.
He said they call him the jukebox.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because, like I said, like I told y'all in the pre-show, I haven't sung now in a year and a half because of the
Don't
COVID.
worry,
I
you
haven't
can
gone
sing.
out to sing.
We know
so
you can sing.
my voice
Sharon,
is not
come on
in competition shape right now. But once the doors really open up around here, I will be back on the circuit.
All right. Well, hey, like I said, you know,
yes,
Dennis
Jay
said he's coming
Jones
on.
is getting personal because Juke is making it personal.
Dennis said he's coming
nobody
on
attack
Saturday.
him. Nobody attack him, but he gonna try to question us and question just like earlier when Czar and Mr. Hargrove was talking. Well, you don't know basketball. Have you coached? When you do this? You don't have to ask questions like this. I know this is talk your ish and you're supposed to have your say.
I don't coach
if the only way that you can try to win an argument is by putting another person down, then you need to just be silent.
I done coached 1,000 games, so they can say whatever they want. You know, que sera, sera. But like I said, anyone's welcome to come on and do their acapella or whatever, or their karaoke version on Sports Guru Live this Saturday. I'd love to have you. And I want somebody other than Czar and Dennis, because I done heard them sing last night to my damn detriment. Okay, I want to.
Hey Czar, like he was the fucking queen, like he was the fucking queen of England.
When
this
I did
motherfucker was all cute. Ain't know his own damn song.
Hey, when I did Regulators and I Get Around, you was all on my. Come on, bro.
Look, all I'm gonna tell you, Czar, to your face, okay, is that you tried to change the damn narrative, and I was busting both of your asses with the slow music.
You played the same damn slow song 3 times in a row.
Narrative. You had to change the narrative, make me go fast tempo, and screw me up. Okay, that's what happened.
You gotta be versatile.
You got to be versatile, Guru.
I can sing everything and rap.
No, my rapping, man, Guru was all over my rap.
I can sing Mary J. Blige and I can sing Whitney Houston.
I'll say this.
Guru loves my rapping.
I can sing Barbara Streisand. I can sing Yolanda Adams, and then I can go and bust out some Anita Baker. I won my college contest on stage singing "You Bring Me Joy" by Anita Baker. Don't mess with me.
Well, you ain't gonna be there, so you all hype right now. It's between me, Guru, and Czar, because we gonna be there.
I ain't gonna be there.
Next week, you know what? Since you talking Sports Guru next week, we doing it. Karaoke next week. Bring your best 3 songs. You get 3 songs, Guru, and it better not be the same song 3 different times, neither.
And this won't violate the copyright here. Right here. Let me hold on. Give me a second. This won't violate because it's a live cover. So we just play this for you youngsters out there. Hold on, give me a second. I know my production.
What you got to say, Ron? Go ahead. He gonna be a while.
We gotta.
But
Oh,
right
it's
now,
almost 10 o'clock.
Embiid injured.
Embiid injured.
I mean, no,
Greek Freak.
Milwaukee. My bad.
Greek Freak is injured.
Yep, Greek Freak injured.
Well, Atlanta was already winning, so
It looks like his ankle.
Yep, that's the song that I want. That's the song I won a talent contest on. That song right there.
it's Anita Baker, baby.
I love that song. That's my favorite Anita Baker song.
Now,
All right, that's 30 seconds.
That's the cover. It's a cover.
I know.
All right, now. So,
Hey, Guru, I'm telling you this. Oh shit, that's his knee. That ain't no ankle.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
What happened?
That's his knee.
He might be done.
He might be done. We're giving you live coverage of the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is now down holding his knee. Welcome to Tokyo Tuesday live coverage.
They had
live coverage from the
Hey, it's looking
Eastern
better and
Conference
better for
Finals.
playoff P.
I did tell King Czar that Atlanta was going to win 3 games, and he told me that they wasn't. And we have a bet on that. Let's get that out the way. We have a bet on that.
We got a playoff pick, but I can't call injury. I mean, that happens. Hey, it is what it is.
Listen, I wasn't even playing on the injury. I know.
No, you can't. What I'm saying is, if you win the bet because Giannis gets hurt, then that's fine. I mean, you still win. I can't not. You know what I mean?
Man, is that a knee or Achilles? Which one is he touching?
No,
he's Achilles. It damn sure ain't Achilles. He wouldn't be walking like that. That's probably the knee.
Oh, I'm 30 seconds behind.
Achilles at your foot. You ain't walking. You barely walking on that.
I don't know. I seen
players play. We seen players play with
I seen Kobe tried to play a game on his Achilles.
No, he shot his free throws.
No, he came back the next game and tried to play another game.
Oh, did he? I didn't remember that.
They had to take him
Tom
out.
Brady, there was a few quarterbacks that played on ACLs.
He tried to play the next. Tell him, Sharon. Am I making this up?
I thought he shot the free throws and left. I didn't know he came back the game after.
Yeah, they had to take him off the court. They didn't want to hear none of that shit.
I guess LeBron James was right, huh? Okay, well, we'll leave it at that.
I don't know. He's walking pretty good right there. I don't know. It might not be serious.
He ain't walking. He ain't pretty. He's in the.
When I'm looking at when I've seen other people that tore the ACL, they're not walking like he walking.
Yeah, not with no ACL or
you can
Achilles.
tear your ACL and walk.
No, you
First
can.
of all, it all depends on your threshold of pain.
Right. That too.
Who tear their ACL? They in so much pain, they yelling like they having a baby.
Or you can fake it like Paul Pierce. Or you can fake it like Paul Pierce and just go in the bathroom and take a shit and come back.
Right.
Oh, shit.
All right.
7 o'clock.
All right, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been Talk US Tuesday. I'm Dennis Holmes. That's Sports Guru, Ron Thomas, Czar, Sharon. God bless. Good night.
Love y'all.